Hey on the Towners, I'm Frank Licari. From behind the mic to behind the bar to conducting 101 from the maestro himself, we're turning up the volume on the vibrant, diverse music scene that gives the Palm Beaches its rhythm, all while passing the baton to the next generation of musicians. So get ready to feel the rhythm as we go on the town in the Palm Beaches with me, Frank Licari.
This program is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.
We're kicking things off at the Kravis Center for the Performing Arts, where music history isn't just performed, it's preserved. We're stepping inside a jazz exhibit that's shining a light on the legends that shaped America's original art form right here in Palm Beach County. The title is Jazz in Unexpected Places. What does that mean, unexpected places?
We're talking about how jazz shows up in people's everyday lives, right? And also the fact that jazz was the music that scored their lives. People listened to jazz, but not just listened to it. They went out to the Sunset and other places to dance to it. I think it was a source of comfort. Yeah. It gave them an opportunity to express joy and also capture their sadness and all of that.
Jazz and blues, to me, feels like it's so connected to the soul.
You know, James Brown was not from Palm Beach County, but he was here all the time. And he was at the Sunset all the time.
There is such a rich history of jazz and blues musicians coming to the area that a lot of these pictures are from the local community.
Yeah, because of the history, we didn't just want images of jazz musicians. We wanted to talk to the folks who experienced the music and who went to the Sunset and to other clubs like Club Nasarima, Club Alabama, and talk to them about what was it like, what role did jazz play during the civil rights era, and how did it impact your life. Some of them are in their 80s, 90s, you know, but they talked about how their parents used to go to the Sunset Lounge dressed to the nines, and how when you went to the Sunset you felt really special, you know. We have about 30 hours of oral history. We have a lot of beautiful images from that time. You see that these musicians are immersed. It's like transcendent. They're just really communicating with the music and they're just oblivious to everything else around them. So we really wanted to make it an experience where people could hear what was happening and they could see it and they could feel it.
And I love that you've got youth.
We wanted to get their impressions of what does jazz mean to them because it's very different. We also had some of the little ones, elementary school students, talk about what color is jazz to you? And they're so poetic, some of them. It's just like really beautiful. And so we're involving folks. It's a continuum, you know, from the older folks and then folks who are like maybe 5, 6 years old. So it's a beautiful thing.
I love it.
Jazz is not something that's dead. It's something that's always growing. We got all these people involved because it was key to us that, you know, we reflected the entire community and we say that this was a labor of love, but beyond that, it is a love letter to the community. It's about jazz, the love of jazz, but it's also about this love for this community.
It's part art gallery, part history lesson. I love all of it, and it's free.
And it's free, absolutely.
And just across town, a legend has returned. We're checking out the iconic Sunset Lounge, deeply rooted in Palm Beach County's musical heritage in West Palm's historic Northwest District. The Sunset Lounge hosted so many great acts like Count Basie, James Brown, Ella Fitzgerald, and so many more. And now, after a stunning restoration, it's reclaiming its place as a cultural anchor for this community. This was the only place in the area where these acts were coming in, and it became this hub, not just for the acts, but for the community. That must feel so great to bring that back to the community.
Yeah, it does, because it was a part of the Chitlin Circuit. The Sunset was, of course, this kind of this cotton club of the South. To be a part of history in this space in which all of these great artists, impactful artists perform is a huge thing.
This project stemmed from community involvement. We included the community, starting with Dr. Wynn's work. We interviewed folks, you know, what did it feel like? What would you like to see? And involving those community folks every step of the way.
So you see people's handprint all throughout, and that is also the goal.
yes, it was a performance venue, yes, it was a bar, it was a lounge, but it meant a lot more than that to this community.
You had this venue in a historically African-American neighborhood, in a segregated neighborhood from the 20s to the 60s. It was connected to entrepreneurship. You had Bob Saunders, who was the owner, and then Dennis and Thelma Starks, who really were very innovative in how they managed it, along with other businesses throughout this neighborhood.
When I walk in here, what are some of the things I'm seeing that may be from the original? I saw the signs up there.
The first floor in the lobby area are the bottles. The building that's adjacent to this main building, this is the historic one, before they did the construction, in the dirt, we found all of these bottles.
All the ones
in
up on the
in
wall
the
were
dirt.
found?
That's
No
just a
way.
portion of them. Also, the disco ball upstairs. The records you see on the wall were records we found near the DJ booth.
When you walk upstairs, you have the mezzanine with the original stage of how they performed one year, along with the preserved arched roof.
It's like you can kind of close your eyes, and I'm sure if you play the right record, you can sort of feel like what that might have felt like back then. Well, let's come to today. What's sort of the programming that we're going to see here?
Music is the essence of the Sunset Lounge. You can expect to hear really great music that really personifies the history of the original place.
This is a long road.
Yes.
You probably you must still come in here and go, oh man, it's finally here. Thank God, because that's a lot of work.
But we still have a lot of work to do.
Sure.
I mean, we very much want the community to come in and be able to enjoy this on a regular basis.
It's important to see cultural and neighborhood representation in this space.
Not many people have the privilege of getting private conducting lessons from one of the world's most celebrated maestros. But at the Kravis Center, anything is possible. Gerard Schwarz, music director of the Palm Beach Symphony, walks us through the language of the baton, how gestures translate into emotion, energy, and precision.
There's a two pattern.
Yes.
Okay, it's this.
Do you notice my pinky?
So it's 1, 2. How easy is that?
Very.
That's easy.
Yeah.
So he conducts 2.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, da-dum, bam, bam, bam. Too slow. Bam, bam, da-dum. You went faster. Perfect. I've had a number of careers. My first career was a trumpet player.
Oh.
And I can talk about it now. Sure. I was really good.
I believe
I
it.
played in the New York Philharmonic. And
Did you really?
yeah, and it was an exciting time. The conductors then was Leonard Bernstein, Pedro Boulez, Eric Leinsdorf, some of the great conductors, and I'm watching them and loving what they are doing. And I thought, maybe I had something to offer in that direction too. So I wasn't leaving what I did, but rather embracing something in addition. This part, which I'm going to teach you now.
Yes.
Easy. Really easy.
Right.
The hard part?
Yeah.
You get the scores and you put them on your desk and you read them like reading a book. And then the key is your hearing. What can you hear? What do you hear?
Yeah.
What concept do you have? Now, once you have done all of that work, you have to then convey it with your baton.
Talk to me about the symphony here in Palm Beach County.
Here in Palm Beach, we have some of the most sophisticated audience members in the world. They love their home orchestra. They're real music lovers, and there are lots of them, thank goodness.
Sure.
And the orchestra is fantastic. There's a desire to be great. There's a desire to play fabulously, to play wonderful repertoire for a wonderful, appreciative audience. Well, what's better than that? Want to know the next one?
Please.
4? It's getting complicated.
Yeah.
You want to guess?
I'm going to assume that it goes up, down, down, down.
Yeah.
down.
Down, in, over, up. Down, in, over. But come in. So let's start a little lower and a little flatter. Down, in, over, up. Down, in. You got it. Down, in, over, up.
So the symphony, you're doing a lot of outreach. Talk to me a little bit about that.
What we do educationally is extraordinary. Yes, we go into the schools. We bring the schools to us. We have an instrument program where we get instruments for them. We get teachers for them. We help them get into colleges. But what we're trying to do is to give a broad education to the students so that they're exposed and they, it might be part of their life at some point. Up and then down. So you go
yes.
up,
ready,
down. And the up is in the speed.
Yes.
And 1, 2, 3. You got it.
All right, when am I starting? Because listen, if you're ever having a week where you need a break, call me up.
Okay.
Behind the baton of the North Palm Youth Symphony is the talented Victor Fernandez, a musician and educator who is cultivating the next generation of artists. Fernandez is a very inspirational leader with a simple philosophy. If a child wants to learn, the door to this symphony is always open.
This is grassroots, it's in the community, and it's impacting the real world students. And I am the type of executive director that's boots on the ground. I'm not behind the desk, I'm sitting right there
Playing with them.
Exactly.
How do you start?
Well, to make a very long story short, I've been playing violin and viola for 37 years. So I started when I was 7 years old, and I'm born and raised in Cuba, came to the United States when I was 13. And so I've been in music my entire life, you know, and so now, as a graduate of Florida State with 4 college degrees, 2 masters and 2 bachelors, I've been a music director for over 20 years, and an orchestra director specifically. So I've been doing this for a long time. But this group in particular, the North Palm Youth Symphony, we started with 28 kids in 2021. Today we're at 130 with 6 orchestras, all of which I direct. And the group,
how many?
130 students, 6 orchestras.
In this area alone, 130 students?
Students that belong to the North Palm Youth Symphony across 6 leveled orchestras that start from beginners all the way through the group sitting behind us, which is the most advanced group, the Youth Philharmonic, with whom I play with them when I teach.
That is crazy. 130
5 years.
That's
in a 5 years span.
amazing.
Thank you.
I feel very important, by the way, sitting here with all you guys. How does one get in here?
They reach out to me directly, or they contact us via the website, and they say, hey, I have a 6-year-old, 7-year-old that wants to learn, or I have an 8-year-old that plays already. So I immediately jump on a phone call with that parent. And depending on where they are, they prepare an audition, send me a video of the child playing their very best piece and their very best scale. Yeah. And then from there, it takes me about 2.5 seconds.
Right,
and I know
tell whether
they need to be in concert.
Whether they're hot cross buns or Tchaikovsky.
Yes, yes, yeah, well said, well said.
You don't have to become a professional musician because it shapes your life so many different ways.
Yes, the skills required to be successful in music essentially prepare you to be successful at any endeavor in life. Effort, perseverance, hard work, dedication, grit.
Yep.
There's so many lifelong skills that are developed in the process of becoming an artist.
130 students, talk to me about the ages.
So we have what's essentially a K-12 program across 4 orchestras, beginners, prelude, concert, chamber. We have children that come in at the youngest, 6, 7 years old, and then we have all the way through high school.
Can I conduct? Can I
sure.
conduct you guys?
I can teach you to conduct,
conducting class.
Done.
Let's do
it.
I'm pretty good at it.
Since 1997, Aaron Kula's Klezmer Company Jazz Orchestra has been reinventing vintage music into something completely new.
We're at the Bethany congregation in Boca Raton, where Aaron and some members of the orchestra are bringing a different kind of prayer to life.
Now, would it shock you if I told you that I knew how to play the accordion? Would you be shocked?
Yes, because it's a very unique instrument
Isn't it,
that most people don't play.
I know.
First, I'm going to say the accordion now is a very sexy instrument. I never gave up on it. I started at 10 years old. I know it wasn't very cool and popular then, but I kept with it. It's me. I put that
How's
accordion.
That feel?
I put accordion on. I'm like the Elvis Presley of accordion.
That's right. A little bit of Romanian, Turkish.
Romanian, Hungarian, Czechoslovakian, Turkish.
Yep.
And by the way, Klezmer comes from 2 Hebrew words, tools of melody.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's tools of melody.
Isn't it clay and
Zemer.
Zemer.
So it means instrumental music.
Right.
But it's from everywhere around Europe, Eastern Europe, and even the Mediterranean, because the Jews were developing their whole history and culture in the diaspora.
Yep.
So it's wherever they lived, the music sounded like that country. So I'd say Klezmer music is kind of the ultimate international folk music.
Right. You are now traveling all over the world, performing all the time. You're like the Lady Gaga of Klezmer music. That's incredible.
My group is called Klezmer Company Jazz Orchestra.
Yeah.
My goal was to not only replicate what Klezmer music was historically, but kind of go beyond that and create something new, a fusion style that incorporates all kinds of genres, whether it's blues or jazz or Mediterranean, and have it a combination of written music and improvised music.
So you're taking, let's say, a traditional klezmer song, and you're throwing a samba beat, or
a samba, a mambo,
wow,
a blues, a swing, and so I'm kind of fusing with something that will relate to our generation. Now, we have to understand that klezmer music was not the same 100 years ago, 50 years ago, now. The music was created for one purpose, to make people happy. It was always music to entertain for weddings, bar mitzvahs, any kind of celebratory events in the synagogue. So it's really dance music.
It's really dance music, yeah.
Some venues don't simply showcase music, they shape it. The Bamboo Room in Lake Worth Beach is one of them. And at its heart is a woman whose vision keeps the blues alive.
I personally think South Florida has the best musicians. I mean, we have so many great local bands, it's just amazing. JP Stores, we have Matt Schofield up there. Matt plays here almost every week.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot of the local bands, Spider Cherry, that's Cedric, one of my favorite people. If the walls could talk, right?
Yeah.
We have just a huge variety of guests, a huge variety of music. We do a lot of blues, a lot of classic rock, so many fantastic shows. And we also have Rudy's Pub downstairs, so a lot of the musicians from there, because I've had that for 14 years, have carried over into the Bamboo Room. And we have the outside, the patio, and so it's just a tremendous variety of music. You name it, we do it.
It's interesting because the Bamboo Room's always been that sort of like a home for musicians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and they support each other. And that's happened from day one. So it's been 14 years already, and it's just amazing. It's like a big family of really great people supporting each other.
Through every iteration of new owner, the venue itself has kept the heartbeat.
It really has. Originally, Rudy's started on J Street, but on the other side of Lake Avenue, and it was a tiny, if it was 500 square feet, that would be a lot.
Yeah.
And that's where it all began. I was there, I think, for 6 or 7 years. And then this was open. 4 or 5 guys actually partnered and opened it. They, just wanted to move on and do something different. I just figured, I'm here already.
What's another?
What am I gonna lose?
What's another couple
fun.
thousand square feet? Yeah, it'll be fun. Sure. How many times a week are you running shows?
A lot. Between the 2 venues and the outside, it's pretty consistent.
And I love the vibe too, because you get the bar set right in the venue. You serve food?
Yeah, we do. Relax and have something nice to eat, watch a great show, and call it a night.
And then you spill out into Lake Worth Beach, and who knows what happens then, right?
Really, the crowd that comes here, everybody is so nice and supportive and kind. We're really lucky.
Yeah.
We have a great family within the guests, and then another family with the musicians.
Sure.
No grouchy people allowed.
Next, we're stepping off the clock to a listening bar where times slow down, music takes center stage, and the vinyl invites you to unwind.
I started dancing when I came through the door, which I don't know if that's what you want.
2 steps on time, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a sense of nostalgia. When you walk in, I want to take you back to the simpler times. I grew up in music. I love fashion. I love a great cocktail. So that was our formula in developing Off the Clock. When you're clocked out, you're off the clock, and this is a place where you just leave all that out the door.
Yeah.
It's like home away from home.
It was our way of just making sure that we stayed authentic to ourselves. We love hosting at home and having that ambiance, and so then we just kind of made it a bigger home to invite more people to experience what we love.
You guys are hospitality.
My husband and I met at the Breakers, and we learned truly what kind of that hospitality experience is. Music has been always in both of our love. We've always been old souls, so a lot of it is very funk, disco, neo-soul, like a lot of it, what stuff that we love to enjoy.
Oh, you don't have to say it shrugging the shoulders. That's some of the best music. I'm with you. I knew every lyric coming in, so you don't have
Bringing in that old feel of the records.
Yeah. Not only is the music playing, but this dude is behind, giving me the cocktail. You know, he's doing the shaking with the music.
Well, you have good observation. Let me tell you. That's amazing.
That's what I do.
With our cocktails, everything with the cocktails is also intentional. It also complements our menu. Chef Reginald Burgess, big ups to Chef Reggie. He's been putting a lot of work in our dishes, our craft. Our cuisine is French Caribbean. I wanted to take a little bit from the Caribbean, from each island within the Caribbean, with the French technique. I actually went to high school with him. It's so crazy.
Oh, wow.
And we've grown together. His love for food is like
a passion.
Yeah.
We wanted to be a safe space.
Yeah.
We wanted to come and enjoy and be able to study or have a cocktail, meet new people.
Yeah.
Like we've had so many people have introduced each other that have never met before and was just vibing and have a good time. And I loved seeing it because it's like exactly what we planned on having is that space to meet new people and create a community in that process.
At the end of the day, I always tell my wife, like, we cannot compromise the vision. Luxury, class, and a little bit of whatever you want.
Some icons reinvent themselves. Vanilla Ice is doing just that in Lake Worth Beach, transforming a landmark building into a brand new brewery. I have known Rob Van Winkle for many years. You know him as Vanilla Ice, and if his career is any indication, this place is gonna be a hit. You've been around, you're an icon in so many ways, you're all over the place. You should relax, right? You could relax and just go, you know what, that's it for me, I've done it all. Now you're opening up businesses.
I kind of follow my dreams, you know, I never give up on them. And even though they marinate for many years, I'll kind of like, oh yeah, there's a dream, I'm gonna pull it out, you know, and I'm gonna build a brewery. Here's the brewery now, you're getting to see this. This is all gonna be onyx, backlit, uplit, and really state of the art. We got etched records like back in the 90s.
Oh, look at that.
All up in the ceiling, and this is all
It's
gold.
got you written all over it.
Yeah, man, and you can see the bar behind you. We're designing it already. You're gonna have your 7 vats there. We're in a Masonic temple from 1920s, and we're sticking with that. So we're gonna actually showcase the 20s in here to almost be a history lesson when you come in. You know, and it's fun to vision it and then make it happen. We're right here at 1000 Lake Ave, man. You can't get any better than this. And we have 4 floors here. So it's not just a brewery. On the 2nd floor, it's actually gonna be a pop culture museum. This is the original walls.
Whoa!
This is the museum.
Oh my, look at the size of this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is crazy.
You're gonna walk in here. This is gonna be the, you know the round doors from Star Trek?
Of course.
And they go,
yes.
And they'll be like the Ninja Turtle room.
Yeah.
Maybe the room of movies and boxing, all pop culture that would have really made us who we are. I have a chef coming in from New Orleans. You know, I'm very competitive, but I don't know how to cook.
Yeah, the only thing you don't know how to do, by the way.
So I got me a chef and I got a brewer guy. So I'm talking the best of the best, you know? Every square inch is gonna have a detail of something to go, wow, wow, wow.
Well, that's kind of always been your thing though, right? Like you've always been about the experience, the communal gathering.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this place will ooze, you know?
We're going up on the rooftop bar. That's City Hall if you look out the window. And then check this out. This is pretty cool, man. This is my favorite part. You know, we're having fun with this, brother. It's gonna be a nucleus if we do it right for the whole area.
Next, we're stepping into 561 Studios, where the soundtrack comes to life. From recording and production to nurturing musicians of all ages, this is one place where artists find their voice.
Sounds good.
It's a part school, part recording studio, rehearsal. It's just sort of become a community hub for musicians in the area, right? That's what you're going for.
Yeah. The way that we run our school is very freedom-based, you know? So when we get a band together of kids, we say, what's your goals?
The kids come in, they do their one-on-one lessons, they learn whatever instrument they want to learn or multiple instruments, etc. And then he starts matching them up with other kids that have similar music interests.
Do you want to perform more? Do you want to write more? Do you want to record more? What do you want to learn? And then they, as a group, decide that. And so we're already trying to form that sense of community, and then as they grow older, they'll become the new, you know, local music scene, and that's really what I'm pushing for.
You know what? You guys smell of, I wish somebody had taught me this when I was young, right? Like,
100%.
Because you know, we didn't get any of that.
No, if there was a place like this when I was younger, I'd be a totally different person.
Right.
We were a live music community for what, 10 years, something like that. Yeah, and then when we came here, we're all trying to do the same thing.
We were doing the 561 Music Podcast out of the studio, and once a year we were doing the 561 Music Festival.
And I had the school and the studio, and we just kind of started thinking, like, why don't we just band together? Pun intended.
Yeah.
It's a very natural thing. You just kind of look around and be like, why haven't we already thought of
Yeah,
this?
why haven't we moved in together? We haven't known each other so long. It's time to stop. Yeah, let's stop fooling around here.
Yeah.
What else is going on in here? What aren't you doing here?
What aren't we doing?
Yeah.
We came up with the Give and Let Give, what, 4 years ago?
About that.
Basically what happened was people were just kind of donating gear every now and then, and I was just like, yeah, I'll find a home for it, sure.
So much stuff that we ended up getting a warehouse. Started filling the warehouse because we had no room in the studio.
Sure.
I was like, well, let's just do an event where kids show up, they pick something up, then they just walk out.
Students that needed certain gear and didn't have the means to get it. And so the way we run it is, as a kid, you can come in, take what you need. As an adult, your price of admission is you have to bring a donation.
Right.
It's more a gear giveaway than it is anything else, but it is a gear swap. The best part is just watching these kids walk out of here with like entire drum sets, keyboards.
What a wonderful community environment that is.
Yep.
How many local bands now that are really good bands, and they came here at some point.
Of course. From an immersive jazz exhibit to a hip new listening bar, every corner of the Palm Beaches comes alive with a different beat. Follow the music and you'll find the soundtrack that moves you. We hope you'll get out and enjoy all the rhythm the Palm Beaches has to offer. Join me the next time as we go on the town in the Palm Beaches with me, Frank Licari. Listen, I can act like I can do anything. I can't do anything, but I can act like it. When you hear a violin, there's only 12 notes, right? But when they're played wrong, whoa, right?
Right.
I actually got it right that last time.
This program was brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.